Welcome back to Good Day. It's getting to be that time of year when you want to relax on your porch or deck or in the backyard, maybe with a good book.
Yes, and if you like cozy historical mysteries that take place in locations you may recognize, local author D.S. Lang has the books for you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for being here. You brought us a gift this morning.
I did, because tomorrow is May 1.
It is.
And this book, my latest book, is set at an old-fashioned May Days festival in what used to be Mitchell, Ohio, but is now part of Sylvania Township. So a May basket, though, the May Days festival has a lot of old-fashioned things. Cakewalk. We don't have to get into that, but it's like musical chairs. A picnic basket auction, and May baskets. So a May basket would typically be filled with just flowers or flowers and candy. Maybe if you have a sweetheart, you might want to put a basket on his or her doorstep. Always anonymously. Now this isn't anonymous, but this is a May basket for you guys. But what you do is fill it with some fun things, fresh flowers if they're available, and leave it anonymously. And
that's fun.
Yeah,
it is.
So that's
an old tradition there.
So how old is this tradition?
It goes back into the late 19th century, and it was really popular. It's in a lot of newspapers from the late 1800s and early 1900s. What to do? You can also make cones with fancy paper if you don't want to do baskets and put trinkets and flowers in there. But it goes back a long time. It's kind of fallen off the radar. When I was little, my mom read a book to me where there were May baskets. And so I thought, oh, this is such a cool idea. We had elderly neighbors. I said, let's take a basket over to our neighbors and to my grandparents. And I, of course, was like 4, and I thought it was very anonymous. You know, I mean, walking up on their porch, and they didn't know who was that little girl. So I think it's a fun tradition that I'd like to see come back.
Yeah. So you're kind of working it into your latest novel.
Yeah, I try to kind of, the cozy style. You know, they have a lot of holidays. There's a recipe also in the book for shortbread, authentic shortbread recipe.
That's a little gem.
Yeah, it is, because it actually came through a friend of mine whose husband worked with a guy whose grandmother had the shortbread recipe from a neighbor who was from Scotland. So anyhow, it's an authentic, very simple shortbread recipe. So kind of some fun elements, but always a crime to solve.
I was going to say, but there is some seriousness here to the books too, because we're solving a crime.
Yes, because the amateur sleuth. Now, I did take considerable license in making Mitchell into a bigger community than it ever was, and putting a college there.
That's okay.
And that's, fiction. I have a vivid imagination. The amateur sleuth is a college librarian, and she gets herself involved in numerous crimes, solving issues. So she and her best friend solved this one because the town constable and the campus security officer, which was a pretty new job at the time, are poisoned at the May Days festival.
Oh, no.
Yes, but they do survive. I mean, my one friend reads for me, and she's like, "What? They're poisoned." And no, they'll be back. I didn't kill them off. This one's not a murder mystery. It's they do survive, but
you still have to figure out who did it.
Who did it?
And that's that's always fun. The mysteries are always fun.
Yeah, I like to figure out puzzles. So I think it's fun and I try to balance the red herrings with the clues, so you can actually solve the mystery. I think it's not fun if it's completely unsolvable.
And what's lovely is you tie in Ohio within these books, so that's always.
And Sylvania is my hometown. I grew up there, so the Sylvania gets a lot of mention. I didn't set it in Sylvania because I didn't want people saying that wasn't there. That's wrong. That's wrong.
Just read it and enjoy it.
Yeah,
right?
and read it.
And then you work the history into there as well.
Yeah.
And what is it about that you're just so interested in working them into?
I think it's really interesting to see how things were so different. For one thing, she's a college librarian. She's a single woman. Back in the 1920s, not very many women worked unless they absolutely had to. But she works because she wants to, and she wants a career. But very few places employed married women, and even fewer employed married women with children. So that factors in the background, where she and her friend, who's a professor, discuss the difficulties of navigating, perhaps getting married, and couldn't they keep their jobs? And I mean, things were so different back then.
Interesting,
they were so different. Yeah.
Yeah, that is interesting. Very informative too. So thank you.
Yeah.
So where can people get the new book?
The book, well, Finch and Fern in Sylvania carries the books, and I'm actually going to be there Friday night. So plug for my hometown. First Friday is every first Friday
So that will be
in
this
Sylvania
Friday.
this Friday. Lots of other things to do, restaurants and other activities. But she has them. They're available online, Amazon, Kobo, Barnes and Noble. You know, ebooks and paperbacks both. So if you prefer to have your little e-reader,
There you go.
you can do that too.
Be taken care of. Very good. Thank you so much for coming today.
Well, thank you for having
Appreciate the
me. I
May
appreciate it.
basket.
I'll leave the basket.
Yeah.
Need some flowers.
Like that a lot.
Well, there's
So happy May Day.
Yeah, happy May Day. It's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well,